Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'll be bringing you today's episode. So today's episode is going to be regarding some of the more just fun strategies, the slightly different strategies. It's kind of based off some of the main strategies or some of the more common strategies, just with slight variations or possible opening moves. As we've talked about before, there's really only 4 core strategies in craps. That's it. There are basically 4 core ways to play. Then everything else is just a tweak off of that, adding your own spin, adding hedges, or combining some of the strategies or different ways of approaching them. So these are based off of those spins, those variants. Some of them are more opening moves because there are some quote-unquote strategies where it's more the plan for the first 2 or 3 rolls, and then after that it expands into something else that is then able to be used with any type of strategy you may prefer, from power presses to mid presses to regressions, anything along those lines. So today we're going to talk about one of the most popular ones that we've had on this channel, and it is more of an opening gambit or an opening strategy than anything else. We'll probably do some live rolls for these 3 strategies. Once we finish it up, we'll put that on there for our patrons. All those weekly exclusive videos. If you're curious about that, just check the description of the video down below. We're putting out quite a bit of content out there. And let's see. So what this one is starting out with 60 in action. Now this strategy you can play on any lower limit table, $10, $15 table minimums. People talk about how those are hard to find. No, they're not. A $5 table is next to impossible to find. A $10 table is actually relatively easy to find if you go off of the strip and away from downtown. But even downtown or on the strip, center strip, obviously the heavy action, the big high-end casinos, you're not going to find a $10 table. But you go way north, way south, you got a chance at finding a $10 table, especially midweek, especially during the day. Downtown, it's a little bit tougher. They have smaller pits, but you have a chance, especially during the day, during midweek. But if you get outside of either one of those 2 areas to where really the majority of the casinos are not on the strip. There's a ton of casinos here in Vegas, mostly locals casinos and stuff like that. So all the Stations, all the Boyds, and some of the other offshoots. You're going to find $10 and $15 tables. It's going to be a lot easier. You're going to find $10 and $15 tables on Friday night at a lot of these places. Depends how big their pits are and such like that. But so this strategy is designed for those $10 and $15 tables. You could, of course, scale it up if you wanted to. You could just double everything. So you could certainly scale it up if you wanted to. And this one we called the 6 and 8 Elevate because it started out with $60 in action. And basically you're looking at $61. You're looking at investing $61 per shooter. The strategy that you use after your initial investment is entirely up to you. It's based off basically one hit. Once the point is established, and the point does not matter, you're still going to place, even if the point, well, 7's not going to set a point, a 5. So even if the point were a 6 or 8, you would still place it just like this. You would still place the point. Okay. Now we're picking the 6 and 8. Why are we picking the 6 and 8? One, for the amount of the initial investment, but mostly because of the frequency. There are 36 combinations of the dice. 6 of them lose. There's 1 in 6 chance of a 7 rolling. Out of those 36 combinations of the dice, 6 of them are a 7. So if you take those 6 out, you have 30 non-losing combinations of the dice. Right here holds 10 of them. You have 5 ways for a 6 to roll and 5 ways for an 8 to roll. So that means that between these 2 numbers, you have a 1 in 3 chance of one of these numbers hitting, assuming the roll doesn't lose. Right? We're not going to worry about, we're not going to plan for a loser. You're planning for anything that isn't a 7. So you've got a 1 in 3 chance of this roll. And that's pretty high probability for one of these numbers to roll. So regardless of which number rolls, as soon as you get a hit, you're going to throw $1 in. Why are you throwing $1? Well, let's take a look. Either one of these pay $35, okay? So let's stack it up and let's take a look at what we have to work with. We have $96 to work with. Those of you that have seen this video before or are very, very familiar with dice might see a correlation there between 96 and what else you can do with that. So you're going to take your bets down and you're going to tell the dealer, take me to 96 across. You're going to go 96 across including. And that's why I call this an opening move, because you're at this point, you actually haven't transitioned into any kind of strategy that you're doing. At this point, you're also not trying to make money yet. You're just trying to get every single number at a slightly lower cost. Instead of $96, you spent $61. Saved you a little bit of money. It's almost like a 50% bonus here. Now from here, you get to do whatever you want. Now go into your strategy. What's your strategy? Maybe your strategy is to press it up to the green, take a hit, and regress down. Maybe your strategy is to sister press your numbers. Maybe your strategy is to do the funnel method that we're going to talk about in the next video. Maybe your strategy is just to do a mid press, or even just to do a same bet over and over and over again, or press one unit. As we know, press one unit is one of the most underrated and strongest strategies out there. Thank you everybody for the coffees, by the way. Really, really appreciate that. So yeah, once you're set up, do what you want. You have choices. You have options. You only invested $61 into this shooter. That means if you buy in for, say, $600, you're looking at having 10 shooters worth of action. That's generally what you're looking for, is to have 10 shooters worth of investment available to you. So yeah, there you guys go. The 6 and 8 Elevate was one of our most popular strategies. It actually was evaluated by a few other channels as well. It's useful and it's fun. You've got a high probability of it hitting, a 1 in 3 chance. You've got a high probability of being able to expand it out. And once you've expanded out, you can do whatever the heck you want with it. Last night, we had an hour and 10-minute roll. So something like this hits into an hour and 10-minute roll, you're making some money, especially if you're going with a mid-press, press one unit, or power press type strategy. So I hope you guys find this interesting, illuminating, enlightening, or at least just plain fun. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye now. Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'll be bringing you today's episode. So today we're once again talking about some of the fun little oddball, slightly different strategies or variations of the strategies. We did the 6 and 8 Elevate last time around. This time around we're going to talk about the funnel method. Once I've got all 3 videos in this series filmed and stitched together, we'll go ahead and do a live roll with all 3 of them for our patrons to keep adding to that heavy content we're putting out for all of our patrons. If you're interested in that, just check the description of the video down below. Now the funnel method is an interesting one. It's not like the 6 and 8 Elevate where that's an opening move. The funnel method is a strategy in and of itself. And it's already starting with one of the core strategies, which is playing the place bets. So once there's a point, the point does not matter. It does not matter what your point may be. So let's say the 4. Okay. So the point is the 4. Now you may or may not have a pass line bet. We'll just say you've got a pass line bet. We'll only deal with the numbers that are not marked, okay? So if you're on a $10 table, you're going to go 54 across. Basically, with the funnel method, you want to go table minimum. You want to have the lowest amount invested per shooter. So you're going to go 54 across. And now from here, you have to figure out your funnel. You have to figure out what you want to do. Now, with funneling, there's 2 ways you could do it. You could pick one number, or you can pick a quadrant. You can pick a zone. Right? Some people might pick the outside or 2 numbers on the outside. Some people might pick the 6 and 8. Some people might pick the 5 and 9, depending on what you're looking for. If you pick one number, that makes it a little bit easier. If you are going for multiple numbers, typically if you're picking multiple numbers, it's because you're going for the higher payouts. Like I know some people that will do a funnel method and they'll use the 10. They'll use the 10 as the funnel because that has the highest payout of all of these numbers. So they're really hoping that one rolls. Or they might use the 5 or the 9 because it's kind of in the middle. Has a higher payout than the 6 and 8, but or same payout for less money, or has slightly less payout than the 10, but has a higher probability of rolling than the 10. Other people are going to pick the 6, the 8, or both because it has the highest probability of rolling. You've got a 1 in 3 chance of the 6 or 8 rolling as long as it's a non-losing roll. You take out the 7, which is 6 ways to roll, and you've got 30 combinations of the dice. 10 of them are right here. 8 of them are right in here. But if you pick one number, you're looking at 5 of them, 5 of them, 4 of them, 3 of them, 4 of them. I mean, there's different ways you can do the funnel method. And the way it works is whatever your target is for your funnel, be it one number, be it a zone, you will always same bet that roll. So let's say you decide that you want to make the 10 your funnel. anytime a 10 rolls, you're going to same bet. You're going to same bet it. So what about the rest of the numbers, these inside numbers? Anytime those roll, you will funnel the payout over to your target number. So if an 8 were to roll, it pays 14. Now obviously you're going to collect 4 because you're not going to stack 4 up on the 10. We prefer you don't. You can, but we prefer you don't. So now you've got a $20 10. Right, you've still same betted down here. You collected $4. That's kind of a side thing. You don't really care about the collection at that point. What you care about is what you're able to funnel in. So basically, if any number rolls on these numbers, you're going to add $10. You're going to stack $10 up onto your 10 every single time. Right? That means you're stacking $20 worth of potential payout onto your 10 every single time. This 10 will pay 19. It's 20 minus the VIG. So, you're basically collecting your VIG over there. So once the 10 rolls, you're just going to same bet it. Doesn't matter how much you've got on there, you're going to same bet it. You're not going to press anything. Same bet, same bet, same bet, same bet. Now, what about, say, the 6 or 8? Now, if you're going to do a zone such as the 6 or 8, I would recommend sister pressing. Now, some people will press straight in to one number and then alternate between the two numbers. I would recommend sister pressing. Thank you, everybody, by the way, for the coffees. Really, really appreciate that. We've been doing Dutch Brothers lately. I wish they had a actual place to sit inside, though. Sometimes I don't really feel like drinking coffee in my car or waiting until I get home. So I would recommend sister pressing with the 6 and 8, or really even with the 5 and 9. If you're picking a zone, if you're picking 2, I'd sister press, because any of these hit, the payout is enough to press them both. So let's say a 9 rolls. Let's say we pick the 6 and 8, so a 9 rolls. Okay, so we're going to say, press the 6 and the 8. So they're going to collect the cap, and then they're going to press from $12 to $18 each. Pretty easy, right? So let's say a 5 or even a 10. Let's say a 10 roll. So that's going to pay $18, right? So they're going to collect 6. They're going to press up to 24 each. Just keep adding to it. Now, if either one of those roll, they can throw in the $2. Say 8 rolls. They can throw in the $2. They collect their 30, and they same bet it because they've hit within their funnel. They've hit within their zone. Now they just want to collect. Now, of course, you can add anything you want to this. If you want to do a mid press when your target number hits, you can. Maybe some people, and I've actually seen this as well, some people, once they've collected, let's say you've collected 30 once, and now another one rolls, so you say, okay, you know what, just go ahead and press those. So you're going to make them both look like 30. And now let's say you hit your target funnel again. So this time you collect 35. I've actually seen some people decide to press all the way across once, maybe every other payout. So they've made 30. So next time they make 30, they say, you know what, just press me $27 across. So that way, now their funnel can get bigger. Now if, let's say the 10 rolls, well, that's going to pay $27 if it's not a buy. And if it is a buy, it'll pay $29. Either way. So now they can say, you know what, press my 6 and 8. Now they're pressing it 2 units each. Which just makes their funnel pay even better when it hits. Either one of these hit, they don't have quite enough to press it 2 units each, but they're getting closer, so they'll actually collect a small portion of it. You can also maybe add the field in if you like, but that can take away from your funnel. Well, keep in mind that the 6 and 8 are your same better, so if they get big enough, you can certainly add a small field to it. Why not? So I hope you guys find this interesting, illuminating, enlightening, or at least just plain fun. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will catch you next time. Bye now. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'll be bringing you today's video. This one would be video 3 in our little series on just some of the more, not oddball strategies, but just variant strategies to some of the more common ones. And this one is dealing with strategies we had called before the twin pyramids. Some people called it twin towers. Or other people play it that don't really have a name for it, which a lot of the strategies don't actually have names for them. In fact, most strategies don't really have names for them. The Iron Cross does, despite the fact that it's one of the weakest strategies. And For our patrons, the exclusive video, we'll definitely do some live rolls with all three of these strategies to just kind of show how they go. And yeah, we'll have some other exclusive content as well for our patrons. So if you're interested in that, just check the video down below. Otherwise, let's take a look at this. So I'm going to get rid of the puck because this particular strategy, or these two strategies, because it is two, are all based on place bets, the most common strategy, and are independent of the point. Some people may do a lot of these strategies while placing the pass line. I actually do see some people place the pass line and then end up placing the point anywhere, or play the pass line, not place it, and then end up placing the point anyway, because maybe they have to play the pass line in order to shoot, but they still want to have their main strategy up. So we'll look at this as if we're playing on a $10 table. You can modify it for $15 tables, $25 tables, whatever it may be. And these strategies only work for not buy-ins, but investments per shooter that are above the table minimum. If you're just doing the table minimum, then you just do the standard 64 across, including the point, or 96 across, or 160, whatever table minimum you are playing. But we want to look at what if you're playing more than the table limit. And by the way, please email us some strategies, questions. We love shooting videos based on what you guys send us, and I've actually gotten one email in the last 2 weeks, so please email us. So let's look at, we said a $10 minimum bet table, so what would be a decent strategy or buy-in investment per shooter above that? Let's say 160. So if you're going to play $160 across, including the point, you're betting the same level per all numbers, right? You're betting 5 units per number. Now your minimum bet is 2 units per number, so you can't go below that. But you're betting 5 units per number. And the thing about this is that you have the same number of units to each number, even though each number does have a different chance of rolling. Now, of course, since they pay differently, it kind of makes up for it. But some people prefer to really target what has the most frequency in rolling. Now, as we know, a 7 has 6 ways of rolling. A 1 in 6 chance. Out of the 30 combinations of the dice, 7 will come 6 times out of that. But if we remove that, figure, okay, that's the losing roll, that wipes everything out, what's left? We have 30 combinations of the dice left. Amongst those 30 combinations of the dice, 10 of them reside right here. 1 in 3 chance in a non-losing roll, you have a 1 in 3 chance of one of these numbers coming. You have 8 chances of these coming, which gives you, what, a 4 in 15 chance of a non-losing number? I mean, a little bit better than a 1 in 4 chance. And then you've got 6 ways for these numbers to come. So what if, and I do see some people play this, what if you decide you want to take your 160 and play it out a little bit different? Oh, my hands are getting small. There we go. You want to have the same amount invested, but you actually want to target the numbers that are going to have a higher frequency of rolling. So what you can do, maybe you go table minimum on the 4 and 10. Table minimum on the 4 and 10. If those roll, you're still going to get paid $18 to $19, depending on whether or not it's a buy at where you're at. And now, let's say you want to increase it up just a little bit more with the numbers that have a slightly more frequent chance of rolling. So you bump this up to 15. And now, what do you got left? Well, let's see here. Let's do it this way, even though we're about to change that right back up. Now right here you have $158, $2 shy of your 160 investment. But on these two numbers, where with your 160 across you would make $35 per hit, this time around you're going to make $63 per hit because you go $54 on these two numbers. Okay. Now over here you would normally make 35 because you would have 25 bucks down, but instead you're only going to make 21, so you're going to make $14 less over here. But these two numbers that have the highest frequency of rolling are going to pay you the best. You're going to make $63 per. So 1 in 3 of your rolls, you're going to make $63. Now, of course, you could bump this up a little bit higher, or you could drop these down. You could even drop these down and go for the full 60 over here. So you could do table minimum, $60 each. You have the exact same buy-in or investment that you would if you did 160 across. The numbers that are most common to roll, you're going to make $70 per number instead of 35. You're going to make twice as much the numbers that are most common to roll. However, you're going to make significantly less on the 4, 5, 9, and 10 on the outside numbers. Now you could pare this down anyway, just like I showed you. Do 54 each and do 15. You could do 48 each and do 20. You could do 48, 48, 20, 20, 10, 10 if you wanted to. 42, 42, 20, 20, 15, 15 if you wanted to. Make it a pyramid, right? Which is why some people call it the pyramid strategy, the twin pyramids. Although the other version is not actually a pyramid. The other thing that you could do, you could go in the opposite direction. Let's take a look. Let's give ourselves aces to work with. What if you went the opposite direction? Now, in this case, if you go the opposite direction, you're no longer looking at the most frequent payouts. Instead, you're looking for the largest payouts. Now, in this case, you're going the other direction. The numbers that are most frequent to roll, you're only going to make $15 per number, or $14 per number. Sorry, I'm always thinking of that, drop a dollar down. So the numbers that you're most likely to have roll 1 in 3 times out of the non-losing numbers, you're only going to make 14. Now over here on the 5 and 9, you're going to make a little bit less if you do it at 25 or 20. You could do it at 25, so it's a wash. They would still make the $35 per roll. In which case then you'd only do 35 each on the 4 and 10. But if you go all the way up to 40, instead of the 25 will make you 49. You put 40 down there, you're going to make 79. Right? It's an extra $30 every hit on the 4 and 10. So now instead of looking for the most frequent numbers to roll, you're looking for the numbers that pay you the most to be the ones that roll. Either one are viable strategies. It's slightly different. They're variations off the place bets, and I see this a lot. Now, I don't see this as often as the initial setup, but sometimes I do. The problem with this as initial setup is you really have to explain out to the dealer. When you drop 160 and say, give me 160 across, it's quick, it's easy, it's simple, done. When you do it like this, you almost have to string bet it to really explain to the dealer what's going on. But once you've done it a few times, they'll figure it. As long as you're consistent with how you play, this does become very easy. All strategies become very, very easy as long as you are very, very, very consistent. I actually know a couple people that will do something like a 74 across, including the point, where they'll do the 2 units across, but then they'll do 3 units on the 4 and 10. Of course, they have to explain that the first couple of times they play it, but then after that, as long as they're consistent with it, the dealers have it. So again, just some variations on what can be played. I hope you guys find this interesting, illuminating, enlightening, or at least just plain fun. Thank you everybody for watching, and we will catch you next time. Bye now. Thank you everybody for watching today's video, and as promised, a little bit more detail on things that we are working on. So again, we want to continue trying to expand the channel. We're really hoping to be able to add roulette as soon as possible, and then some video keno, video slots, stuff along those lines. Unfortunately, it ate up almost all of our cash, paying off all of our bills during the month of January while we were down. And now that the holidays have ended, YouTube's payouts have dropped significantly. So we're kind of treading water here as far as all that goes. Do have a lot of things we want to add, though. Not just those things, those additional games, and hopefully some carnival games and such like that. But the live streams. The biggest problem right now with the live streams is with 3 jobs combined between the 2 of us, 4 if I include the 20 to 30 hours a week I'm putting into the YouTube channel. It's very, very difficult for me to have a day and time that I can commit to doing the live stream every single week because we also have our very young child to take care of. But I'm trying to figure that out. I'm thinking it's probably going to end up being on Monday nights or Tuesday afternoons, or possibly both. I intend to do at least one live stream exclusively for our patrons, and then another one on the YouTube channel. So possibly both days. We also have a few other things that we really want to attempt to move forward on. I'm just running into either time or skill set issues. I do want to eventually have a website going for us. I did used to program websites over a decade ago. A lot of things have changed, and I just don't have that time. And not a whole lot of knowledge on the current state of building websites, hosting what sites can host, and how to build up the e-commerce stuff. So if anybody has any skill sets along those lines and would like to answer some questions or just help us out, shoot us an email, sincitylivingLV@gmail.com. Also, I really hope to be able to start adding some exclusive stuff from Sin City Living, logoed shirts, hats. I'm looking to get custom dice made, even custom layouts made, although those would be pretty expensive. But I know zero about e-commerce and drop shipping and anything along those lines. So if you have any skill or knowledge in that area, please email me. I would love to ask you some questions and see if you can answer a few to help me figure out how to get that going. Same thing with designing our logos. I had some logos designed, very, very small logos, unfortunately, not big enough to blow up to put on T-shirts and stuff like that. And again, I know I know nothing about logo design, graphic design, any kind of websites that could do it. I literally know nothing. So if you have any skill or knowledge in that area also, please email me, and you're willing to answer some questions, please email me and let me know. I'll admit I don't even know where to start as far as asking some questions, but I'm sure I'll ask a few, and that'll trigger a few more, so on and so forth. So yeah, there's that, and of course we do hope to continue to improve our AV setup, but I am an AV moron, so also right there, if you have any skill sets or knowledge in that area, please email me, and are willing to answer some questions. Please email me and let me know. We would love to help. Otherwise, again, thank you everybody for watching, and we're very excited to continue bringing you our videos. Bye now.